welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This Wednesday evening video is going to be a wee preview of the Feyenoord against Celtic Europa League match. Tomorrow evening will be an away game for Celtic and is the fifth game of their current Europa League campaign. Celtic lying 27th on 4 points, Feyenoord on 29 on 3 points, lying in 29th place. And so obviously a point or three tomorrow would come in very, very handy for Celtic pushing towards getting into the knockout phase in 2026. In today's video, we're going to have a wee quick chat regarding a rather bland, uninteresting press conference with Martin O'Neill and Austin Trusty. A wee look at the predicted lineup, predicted score, and one or two wee interesting stats regarding Celtic in European football in Holland and head-to-head against Feyenoord over previous games. So Celtic trained today earlier in Glasgow at Celtic Park and then flew out to Holland and Rotterdam, arriving around about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In the training session this morning at Celtic Park, both Marcello Ceracchi and Kelechi Iheanacho were back in full training, which is obviously a good sign. Martin O'Neill in his press conference was a wee bit vague as to whether either or both will be in the matchday squad or even in the team for tomorrow. I would be very surprised if either makes a start tomorrow, but potentially both could be on the bench to bring on later in the game. Rather bland press conference, all things considered. Martin O'Neill seemed a wee bit flat, a wee bit tired, also at times a wee bit grumpy, not his usual jovial, funny self. And Austin Trusty, who was beside him, seemed rather nervous and rather keen not to say anything and not to commit himself one way or another regarding the signing of Wilfried Nancy as the new head coach. And all in all, it was a rather boring, bland press conference, other than to confirm that Ceracchi and Iheanacho had trained fully earlier in the day. Both had travelled with the squad and so were technically available if required for tomorrow's game. Otherwise, Martin O'Neill really said nothing very much interesting at all, neither did Austin Trusty. And so we'll move on to my predicted lineup. A few places that are suggesting that Martin O'Neill might go for a 3-5-2. Personally very surprised. I think he'll stick to 4-3-3, which is what he's used in all the games so far. I think in goals, obviously, Kasper Schmeichel. I think at right back, he'll start Colby Donovan. Anthony Ralston was rather disappointing against St Mirren. Donovan provides a bit more power, a bit more strength, a bit more pace, a bit more attacking and midfield threat than Ralston. And he also provides that good aerial ability as well. And I think he'll go with Donovan at right back, Trusty and Scales in centre as the two centre backs, Kieran Tierney at left back. I think he'll play Engels and McGregor as sort of deeper lying box to box midfielders. Benjamin Nygren as a free reigning attacking midfielder. Out wide on the right, Dyson Maida. On the left, Sebastian Czunecki and Johnny Kenny through the middle. There is a bit of a temptation to use Dyson Maida centrally and maybe using Nygren out wide, roaming out from his central attacking midfield spot and shoving in an extra midfielder such as McCowan or Paulo Bernardo or Rio Hatate. But I think O'Neill will stick to his usual 4-3-3. In terms of a predicted score, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, which will be a useful extra point in the campaign towards the knockout phase qualification. Feyenoord have lost their last 3 games in a row and aren't in particularly good form in the Europa League. And for that reason, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Now, some stats for Celtic and Feyenoord. Celtic in their last 5 games away in Holland in European competitions, 1 draw and 4 defeats. Last time Celtic won in Holland was back in August 2001 when Martin O'Neill's Celtic beat Ajax away from home in Champions League qualifier. Celtic haven't won in that case in over 24 years in games in Holland. So far in this Europa League campaign, Feyenoord have only scored in 1 of their 4 games. They've had 1 win and 3 defeats so far in their 4 games, which is why they're on 3 points and 2 places below us in the league. Celtic have a very disappointing rate of clean sheets in the last 22 Europa League games, with only 1 clean sheet in those 22 Europa League matches. And they've conceded at least 2 goals in 15 of the last 18 Europa League matches. And so far in this Europa League campaign, Celtic have scored only 1 goal from open play. That was the goal Iheanacho scored against Red Star Belgrade in the first game. Otherwise, Celtic's other 3 goals have all been from set pieces. The goals from corners by Scales and Nygren against Sturm Graz, and the Rio Hatate penalty kick in our last game against Midtjylland. And I'm very much looking forward to Celtic scoring from open play against Feyenoord tomorrow, although the delivery of Nygren and Engels from corner kicks and direct free kicks might well be useful for Celtic creating chances. Not much other confirmed news. All the rumours and stories and indications are that Celtic are liable to announce the signing of Wilfried Nancy on Friday, maybe Saturday, as the next head coach stroke manager of Celtic, with O'Neill and Maloney taking charge against Hibs on the Sunday and handing over to Nancy on the Monday. And it's fully expected that if Wilfried Nancy is confirmed into the post on Friday or Saturday, he will be at Easter Road for the game, although just watching from the stands. So, although not yet confirmed, it's thought that Wilfried Nancy, if he does sign as Celtic's new head coach manager on Friday or Saturday, will be bringing a team of 3 or 4 staff along with him, and also keep 1 or 2 of Celtic's existing coaches for local knowledge and Celtic knowledge. It's thought that he will be bringing his assistant manager Kwame Ampadu, his head coach Johan Dammit, along with a fitness coach, and also his long-standing, highly admired recruiting expert and analyst expert. And hopefully they can all settle down well in Scotland quickly and fit in with the existing staff and fit in with the framework at Celtic and move Celtic forwards in terms of results and success and power us to a League Cup win in a couple of weekends' time, then onwards to overhauling the Hearts' advantage in the league, and then powering us to another league and double or treble by the end of the season, and also getting us through to the knockout phase of the Europa League, which would be a good achievement, but will require Celtic winning an awful lot of games between now and the end of January and the end of the transfer window. No other significant news regarding the players, the coaches, the managers, etc. To finish off, just a wee polite suggestion, encouragement for those not yet subscribed to the channel. Please do click that subscriber button. It would cheer me up so much on this rather dull, wet, cold evening where I live. If 1 or 2 new subscribers clicked on completely free of charge. Also do pop your own thoughts regarding predicted score, predicted lineup into the comment section. And also do remember there will be a post-match live stream starting at 9 o'clock on Thursday evening, an hour and a half or so after the game against Feyenoord has finished, and hopefully we can celebrate a win or at least a draw against Feyenoord earlier on Thursday evening, and have a wee chat about things such as Celtic's future under Wilfred Nancy and his coaching team, players to target in the winter transfer window, how Celtic's formation, tactics, etc. might change over the next few months, and what our expectations are for the rest of the season in terms of trophies and Europa League, etc. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.